What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You back on the mic with Mike. It's been a long time since I did one from the basement, but I'm back in the basement now to do one for you. What we gonna talk about today? Man, look at all this stuff on my shirt. Oh, frenemies. With everything that's going on now in the world, where people surely and realistically turning on each other, the definition of frenemies comes to mind. So I believe that only time that you have friends is when you're like in certain grades in elementary school. Beyond that, when people start to learn certain ways and certain things, then the friendship goes. And now I find, or I see a lot of people always looking for friendship or looking to be accepted. People got to understand that your friend is your worst enemy because your friend knows everything about you. I've been I've been hearing about the Sean Combs case, and of course, everyone he's employed and things of that nature of testifying against him. I still don't see why he's under a federal indictment. I don't still see why he's being charged federally when none of his crimes is, like I say, is federal. If that's the case, a lot of people will be going to jail for having sexual hookups. If I meet a young lady and I live in New York and we somewhere together in some state and we link up and everything gets good and we do what we do and she goes back to say Houston and I go back to New York and then you know we discuss, man, that thing was good, and she was like, yeah, it was good. And I said, well, when you coming out? And she said something like, well, I can't leave because I have bills and I have to pay my bills. So you say, well, listen, I'm gonna pay you for that day. And when she gets there, y'all perform a sexual act. Isn't that the same thing? Or isn't it the same thing when a porn company contracts a porn star female and a porn star male and they come together and they have sex? Isn't that the same thing as prostitution? So I don't understand why he's being charged federally. If he's freaky, he's freaky. And of course, what's coming out now that is freaky. What I don't like is I don't like that um, everyone that has something to say about him didn't say it till he was on his downfall. Yes, he has power. Yes, he has influence. But you know, society now should live by the code. If you see something, say something. And unfortunately, they didn't. Now, who's to say that what he did was right? I don't condone the beating up the young girl. Or I don't condone the um acts of his power manipulating other people to do his will. I don't condone that. I'm always one to say that people with power corrupts. Do you like my new background? So I had the city up, but I wanted to do something like a little different from when I first started. Just words, because words are powerful. But getting back to it, um, I just don't like that all these people are testifying against him now, and that the federal prosecutors and the government is trying to make a strong case against someone who was just freaky. I mean, the acts that he did was probably uh terrible to hear, but I'm sure people did a lot of more vagrant things in doing sex. But of course, you're not going to hear about it. But like I say, I didn't hear about him abusing one minor, one child, or anything. So if it's two adults that's consensually, and I'm going to do this to you, and you not saying anything, or you down with it, then it is what it is to me. I'm not saying that Cassie is shouldn't be entitled to some type of. I'm sorry, my computer keep coming up all these things. Shouldn't be entitled to some type of compensation for the hell she went through with him. And I do think that she went through some hell with him. But then again, when she said and she testified that he was going to use the tapes uh, to blackmail her, well, that could have went against him too, because in that sense of power, in that sense of achievement, in that sense of what his level is, that a lot of people could say, well, you don't want to deal with you because you're a freak. But like I said, if he's freaky, he's freaky. I had nothing to do with that. Like I said, most of us became born or got here from someone being freaky, whether it's mom or dad, they were freaky, so we got here. But I just don't like the fact that now all of a sudden, all of his so-called friends, former employees, personal people that he know has came into the light and are testifying against him. When you could have stopped, if you could have stopped it altogether. Um, Certain young lady, I forgot her name. I think she was one of his groups. She said she seen Puffy beating on the girl. Now, if you seen someone beating on the girl, then why didn't you call the police? You could have dry snitched. You could have had. I got something on my nose. I'm sorry, but you could have dry snitched. You could have left a note or left a letter. Text the police when you went to use the bathroom. Someone's being assaulted real bad. Please get here. But you chose not to do anything. So now that it has come up, everyone that wants to throw rocks and I mean boulders at the man. It just goes to show that what you do when you do something and people knowing you doing it, they can use that against you. That's why I told you before. I hang with God and I hang with Jesus, and that's who I hang with. Human beings. First of all, human beings have their own agenda. First of all, they're going to be human. They're gonna have flaws. I'm not gonna say they're going to uh, be this evil person towards you, but I am going to say that human beings have flaws. So you have to watch human beings. It's like so we have not an anaconda. We have a I think bull python. My son has, and even though we feed this snake, we nurture this snake, we get a snake water, we let the snake out, we hold the snake. I don't hold the snake near my face because I know that snake is a snake and he will strike me, whether anything. So you have to go with that with people. You can't trust people but so much because he's a human being. Human being have flaws. So I'm just trying to send this message out to y'all that your frenemies that are around you, be cautious, be mindful that they're around you. Who's that? I apologize. That's my alarm system. I would tell you, get an alarm system that tell you everything that you need to know. I would tell you that. That's what I like about these alarm systems. I got cameras everywhere because I don't trust nothing or nobody. Sometimes you don't think someone's watching, but people are watching. So when they're watching, I'm watching them watch me. You get it? So just be mindful of your frenemies. We see a lot of times that people that you grew up with, people that you hang with, people that you know, family will cross you. I just think that for you not to think that something can come about something just because a person said they love you or they trust you or it's this and that, you're naive to do that. Don't be naive. Be intelligent. People gonna be people. Some gonna fail you, some are not. But yeah, I just wanted to speak on that. Frenemies. That's a strong word. It's a good word. People that pretend to be your friend or something of that nature. And of course, everybody wants friends. Everybody wants somebody to hang with. But the people that you hang with know the most about you, know all your intimate secrets, all your details, and they can become your worst enemy. So, Mike with Mike from the basement. I'm glad to be back in the basement. Podcast is doing good. I'm getting a few views, which is fine. No, I do this for part time now. When I get to Hollywood, then it'll be a different story. But for now, Mike from the basement. All right, y'all.
Pray for your family. Pray for our enemies. Oh, what a friend you need. Pray for your wise